Ken Glenn, 3 branches, take 42.
Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in today. We're going to be looking at the 3 branches of government and how they interact. So first branch of government is legislative, and that's Congress. And that's composed of, I forget the number, but I think it's 276 members of Congress, 100 senators, and 235 in the House of Representatives. And the second branch of government is executive, and of course that's our elected president that lives in Pennsylvania Avenue, and he's kind of the figurehead of the symbolic figurehead of our government. And then we have the judicial branch of government, and that's our approved members of the Supreme Court. Now, how do these 3 interact? So the executive branch will hold a press conference and send all of his followers over here to the legislative branch and try to hold power. And so this is how we keep the balance of power in the United States, is by our figurehead basically trying to get as many supporters to come and crash through this building here so that his will can be done rather than the people's. So that's kind of how things work. And then over here we've got the judicial branch. Now they help to arbitrate some of the laws that the legislative branch puts into effect. So states or other parties can sue the different government agencies to try to get laws changed, and if it makes it back up to the Supreme Court, then that can actually it can change the law. So it's an interesting balance of power.
3 branches, take 43.
Okay, so as you can see, the executive branch has checks and balances over the legislative, that if the executive branch doesn't like the elected leader that is going to be approved by the legislative branch, can send the people over to crash that party and try to prevent that from happening. Okay, now we have the judicial branch that is a check and balance on the laws that are put into effect by the legislative branch. So at that point, a bill becomes law, and then there could be a lawyer in Texas,
Try some different colors too.
okay, that would challenge that law. And so then through the different layers of the judicial system, would have different stages of the lawsuit that may end up back at the Supreme Court. And this is where the Supreme Court has the power over the legislative branch, can have a check on their power and can say, no, I'm sorry, but we're going to strike this law down, or we're going to change it, because as judges, we don't feel that is constitutional. So that's another way that the checks and balances work. Then we've got the way that the executive branch has checks and balances over the judicial branch is that the president is the one that nominates these judges. And then the way that the legislative branch has checks and balances over judicial is through the approval process, and they can strike down the nominee from the president if they vote that down. So this is kind of the way that the 3 branches of the U.S. government keep each other in check, and nobody becomes too powerful, we hope.
Awesome.
3, whatever I called it, take 44.
All right, so at this point, the executive branch has sent some people over and they have all but destroyed the legislative branch. So we're going to rebuild that.
Yeah, use some different colors too.
Okay. And then our Congress people will have some proceedings, and they may decide to investigate. Now, who were these people that came over? Who may have committed a crime here in terms of breaking through the glass, and was there an abuse of power by the executive branch? So then they will have a series of proceedings. They may call witnesses. Whoops, I'm getting into the middle of the screen here. So I'll come over here. So they call witnesses, and then they may determine that no crime was committed and they don't need to restrict the powers of the executive branch, or they may change the furniture in the White House here. They may decide that it really wasn't set up with the feng shui that it needed to be for the executive branch to function effectively and ethically. So they may move this armchair over to the other side. Thank you very much.
3 legislators, take 47.
So it turns out in the Watergate era that there was a microphone recording everything the whole time. It was right here. So at this point, we've got 3 branches of the U.S. government at war with each other. Now, what's going to happen? There's going to be missiles over here fired from the legislative branch and hitting the executive branch. We've got some ICBMs coming from the judicial branch. There's coming over here and hitting the halls of Congress. And then we've got reverse retaliatory missiles coming back here. And let's see, I guess we already got that. So, now I see the streaks you're talking about. So I'm gonna have a light touch here and we get nice smooth lines. And that's how the U.S. government went down the tubes. Thank you. So I'm centered here, and I'm going to talk extra loud, and I'm going to quiet down a little bit. Now I'm going to go over to camera left, and I'm going to be extra loud over here, and a little quieter over here, I think I'm talking loud enough, but maybe I'm not. Okay. Now I'm over here, and I'm on the camera right. And I'm really talking up. I mean, I'm really getting excited about this, and I'm just like underscoring. And then I'm gonna get a little quieter here. I'm a little more thoughtful, and really think about the next thing. Whoops. Okay. This will be a good test. Would somebody, if they were in the middle of that and they messed up, would they grab this, or would they?
Yeah, they might. They
Okay.
might. And I would really encourage them. Cut! I would yell
Right.
cut. I would be
Yeah.
like, wait. But go ahead.
Okay. See,
Right.
I should have thought more before I wrote here. Okay. QUIET. So in summary, that's how you vary your voice, and that's something I'm really trying to work on because I tend to be kind of monotone, and I really don't vary my voice very much. Thank you.